What if there wasn't enough space on your Genius Network 3G card to list all of your businesses? What if you own platforms like Kajabi, Patreon, ClickFunnels, MailChimp, ClickBank, and Shopify, plus ran large events in a mastermind group in Amsterdam? That's the reality of your next speaker, Eelco de Boer. Now, I can never pronounce his last name how it's properly pronounced, but I'll just say Eelco de Boer, who traveled 5,393 miles from Amsterdam to be here today with his son. For over 20 years, he's built and sold multiple companies, all designed to serve his ultimate goal, freedom. More time, more financial abundance, and the ability to focus on what brings you joy. As Eelco says, a life filled with life, fully aligned with who you are and what you want to achieve. Today, he'll share how owning multiple businesses can create true freedom. His talk is titled, Building an Epic Empire, How to Build a Hands-Free Business Portfolio with No Money Down. Please help me welcome an awesome dude all the way from Amsterdam, Eelco de Boer. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So the late Sean Stevenson said it best at one of the annual events a couple years ago. He said the best law of attraction is friendship, and I agree. And I can recall back when I was younger, I was kind of annoyed with one thing, and I asked ChatGPT, what is the definition of a friend that was really cool until he gets his first girlfriend and then all of a sudden he becomes lame? So ChatGPT has a good answer. It's called the girlfriend syndrome victim, and it has a lot of different names as well, I figured out. For example, the NPC boyfriend starts acting like a background character in his own life. So when I met my first girlfriend, what do you think happened with my priorities? Well, it was actually interesting. I had a conversation with my then first girlfriend about this whole thing, about friendship. So I had a conversation with her, and I told her, like, I have to be honest with you, my number one priority are my friends, and everything else is secondary. So that was very important for me, and this is also the invitation for all of us. I really think that we should, well, you should do you, and that's very important. I'll come back to that later. So today I'm going to talk about how to build an epic empire. I built many companies, and I also sold a bunch of them. And I have a question for all of you. Whenever you enter a restaurant or a hotel or whatever business, do you feel that you can improve that business, yes or no? Yes. And we all think that we can make that company grow, and all of us probably can. And that's also the thing that I'm going to talk about today. Equity deals. How you can participate in a company with whatever leverage that you actually have in exchange for a percentage or sometimes for also money if you exit or if you have dividends. Well, that sounds very great, but oftentimes it doesn't really work out. It costs a lot of time, costs a lot of money, oftentimes it's a lot of hassle, and oftentimes minimum upside. So that's not so great. But when it works out, it can really be magical. So for example, Logan Paul and KSI, they partnered with a company called Prime, multi-billion-dollar business. Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, multi-billion-dollar business. Or Richard Branson, the guy owns hundreds of companies and he doesn't operate those businesses. They all have one common denominator. They don't build the companies and they don't operate those companies. They actually are who they are. You, just being you, could be the best business model ever. We all have influence. Doesn't mean that you have to be an influencer and have to dance on TikTok videos, but we all have influence. And I want to share with you today a big idea, and it's very, very, very important because your life and your lifestyle depends on it.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video, and I want to let you know that I have a new book that's come out, and if you'd like to get it absolutely free, there's a link below in the description, or you can wait till the end of this video, or you can simply go to joesfreebook.com and you can get a copy there.
Getting equity for free, it sounds amazing, but as Keith Cunningham would say, most problems started off as a good idea. Expanding is really cool, but to what expense? The most important person in your business and in your life, obviously, that is who you are. And I always say that if you give somebody your time, you actually give them a part of your life. So you have to be very aware with the time that you give away. So I got an email from Joel a couple days ago with the 4 thou shall nots. And this is the third one. Thou shalt not pitch, sell, or smuggle self-promotion during your 10-minute talk. And there's this passive-aggressive line that if you think you're clever enough to slip a disguised pitch past the room, you're only fooling yourself. So let's talk about the companies that I own and what we do for people. So these are my companies, what we do. We help entrepreneurs growing their online business, and it's SaaS companies. And I sold a bunch of them, and a bunch of them are still up and running. So why do I feel safe to share this? I'm always a little bit afraid of Joel Weldon, obviously. So why do I feel safe? Well, all of my companies, they're all in Dutch. So I would literally have a 0% conversion rate in this room. So that's why I feel safe. So if you look at all the companies that I own or owned, you probably think like, man, that's a lot of work. So this is a sneak peek at my calendar. Today, it's Genius Network Day. This is last week. So if you can see, on Wednesdays, I have some meetings. This is last week. On Wednesdays, I have some meetings. The week before, I was at 100K. So I have a clear schedule. However, Genius Network is messing up my schedule. So that's not a good thing. The question is, who are you really? Like, who are you really? For example, a lot of us, we know Gary Vaynerchuk. This guy loves to hustle, which is awesome. It's really who he is. It's like, that's really who he is. And it really makes him happy. I'm sort of the opposite. I really like to chill and have a lot of white space. And I always say the magic happens in the white space. So again, clean calendar for me personally is very important. What I see with a lot of entrepreneurs is most entrepreneurs, they adjust themselves towards their business. So they start the business with one reason, that's freedom. And all of a sudden they start adjusting. And then a couple years later, they wonder, why do I feel so stressed out? So what we don't want to do anymore is we don't want to adjust ourselves too much anymore towards our business. We want to adjust our business towards ourselves. We really want to make our business our blessing. I kind of feel like Donald Trump like now, like make your business your blessing again. I think that's a good idea. So do you in your own energy, that's the most beautiful thing that there is, not just for yourself, but also for your family, your friends, your children, your team, your partners, your clients, all of them. The number one problem when building your own epic empire, or when you close equity deals, you get equity in companies in exchange for your leverage, it's also our superpower. Our superpower is also our downfall. And the downfall is that we're super optimistic, we're opportunistic, and we're very, very excited. So we see potential everywhere. And we underestimate the time and the energy things cost. And the big problem whenever we want to close a deal in exchange for equity is that we overcommit. We think we can make it work. We can make anything work. So success oftentimes is counterintuitive. We're overcommitting, and we should stop overcommitting if you want freedom. So here's the big idea of today. With any new partnership or any new equity deal, I want to invite you to think about, how can I undercommit? How can I commit or agree to do the bare minimum? Only what's easy for you on your own conditions. And I would invite you to be extremely diligent about this. Radically undercommitting is the game. Over-delivering is always an option. So what does an epic empire deal, an equity deal, look like? So my overall strategy for the last 20 years, I actually have 9 rules, and I'm going to share these 9 rules with you real quick. So the rule number 1, whenever I partner with a company or get equity in a company, is it has to be serendipity. And what I mean with serendipity, it just has to be there. I don't want to search or chase or whatever. It just really has to make a lot of sense. Rule number 2 is I'll do 1 meeting for the first year every month. 1 meeting. That's it. And I'll do 1 campaign in the first year to launch your business, to grow it, to launch it to my following. So we'll have a quick spin-off. Rule number 4, you can always call me. So call me when you need guidance, when you need ideas, whatever. I love to help you out. I'm not you out, but the partners out. I love to help you out as well. I think I'm a great mentor, and I really, really like that. So just call me, preferably in the afternoon or the evening. And in exchange for that, I want 20% of the company, or 40%, or 45%, or maybe even 80%. Plus, rule number 5, I want a monthly fee in the first year. And rule number 7, my monthly time commitment will disappear after the first year. So the first year, every month a meeting, and after the first year, my monthly time commitment will disappear. My monthly fee will disappear as well after the first year, and the equity, rule number 9, remains for exit or dividends. So you might think, how is this possible? Who wants to partner with somebody with such a deal? You get paid for the problems that you solve, not the time that you spend. So what we want is we should only partner up with potential partners who really get this and also who really get you and also who really see you. And we don't want to do any concessions here. So when closing a deal, it should be really simple. It's either a hell yes or a no. We want to play long-term games with long-term people. My business could be way bigger. I could own 100 companies. I don't want that. What I want is I want to have a lot of white space, and I want to build a business on my own conditions. So, undercommitting should be the new game that we play. We should create our own rules. Burnout will never happen if you do it this way. You will have staying power. You can do this forever, and you can really play the long game. This will create a compounding effect of time and ease. And you will be ontspannen winnen, which means winning while chilling. You will be voor altijd vrij, which means forever free. And you might have forever money. So back to my first girlfriend. When I had the conversation with her, my friends are my top priority. They're my number one. So what I've learned is if you really live your truth, you surrender a little bit, and you let the chips fall where they may, sometimes things will shift. So my girlfriend, my first girlfriend, 28 and a half years ago, things shifted a little bit, and this is a picture last week of my first girlfriend and 3 new human beings that are in my life. So what I wish for all of us is we play long-term games with long-term people. We're all very different, and what I would invite all of us, you choose you do you, adjust yourself towards your business, make your business your blessing, and then we all have een leven vol leven, which means a life filled with life.
Okay, I hope you found that video awesome and useful. So if you want to get a free copy of my book, I want you to click here. And if you want to watch some more videos that'll be useful and awesome, click here. Go ahead. They're over here. Do it now. Come on. Thank you. Watch them.